This is Randy Lawson, and you're listening to the 3 Count Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Chaz Evans, and you are listening to the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring. Let's go down my faction. And introducing first, he is my tag team partner. He is the man that runs this show behind the scenes because, hey, I don't know how to work any technology. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
All right, new catchphrase. That's it. That's my catchphrase.
And introducing next, he is the 45-time bare knuckle heavyweight. Hide your kids, hide your wife. He smacked your mama cause that chicken tastes like crack. World African American Negro spiritual singing, hallelujah, hallelujah, world champion, Chris Idol.
Always happy to be here, guys.
And last but certainly not the least, he is my little brother, and the only reason he's on this show is because he's my little brother. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you may know him as the Napster. He's probably sleeping. Oh, no, he's awake. So he's not napping right now. But we like to call him JJ.
Is that my cue?
Yes, that's your cue.
Okay. I like the sidewalks, keep me off the street. It's a dangerous world out here. I mean, now we got anarchy going on, so, there's always that going on. About to purge, about to blow stuff up. Chitty, bang. Murder every day. But anyway, for all our listeners, you guys are beautiful creatures.
God.
Make sure you guys stay safe.
And ladies and gentlemen, our guest today on Now Entering the Ring. Ladies and gentlemen, you may know him from GTS Wrestling on YouTube. We got Grim in the hot seat.
What's up, everybody? It's Grim from GTS Wrestling. And I am now on the 3 Count show. And you guys have questions from what I was told.
Oh, buddy, do we have questions? Yes, we do.
Oh, fuck. I don't like the sound of that.
We're going to get into the mind of Grim.
Oh,
so
shit.
I'll start off, then Cliff will follow. Then after Cliff will be Chris Idol. Then after Chris Idol, JJ has the stupid questions. So, and then we'll come off with the lightning round questions. So it's 10 questions. And first thought that comes to mind.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. All right. Let's get right down to business. First question. Who the hell is Grim?
Who the hell is Grim? Grim is the greatest entertainer in the history of YouTube. I am the greatest wrestler in the history of YouTube. I am the 17-time YouTube Wrestling Figures heavyweight champion. I am a YouTube millionaire, and I run the biggest wrestling channel, non-corporately owned on the fucking planet. That's who the fuck I am.
Amen to that. Oh, man. So, we know you run GTS Wrestling on YouTube, but I want to know what has been your greatest accomplishment so far.
Oh God, there's been so many accomplishments. But the thing that I believe that I'm most proud of are my 2 daughters, Molly and Amy. They are just amazing. They're the 2 most special girls, and they make my life complete. So I would say that's my greatest accomplishment, being a dad to my daughters.
Oh, man. Family. You gotta love family.
You're nothing without...
Right. Exactly. So my last question is, we know you got a bunch of figures. What's the actual total number that you own?
I lost count somewhere after 10,000.
Jeez. So, okay, if you had to give me a rough estimate, we know it's like 10,000. So, what's the rough estimate?
11, maybe 12, somewhere in there. Yeah, I have a lot of action figures. I mean, it depends how you piece them out because, you got all the wrestling action figures, which, we're talking wrestling figures. I probably have 8,000 or 9,000 of. But then it's like Transformers, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, and G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes are this fucking big. You can have 100 of them in a shoebox. You know what I mean? So I have quite a few shoeboxes.
That's awesome. Actually, first thing I want to say though is thank you for allowing me to be the referee for you and James Ellsworth's match, and letting my daughter make her debut on GTS. She loved it. She was having so much fun with it.
Awesome.
And
Did she pop when she seen herself on the video?
she did actually, and so did my wife. And so it was cool. It was a fun time. Speaking of the YouTube channels, how much time do you dedicate to the two channels?
Well, a lot less now than I used to. I used to literally work 24/7. I never stopped. I'd wake up in the morning, I would start editing the stuff that I filmed yesterday to put up for today. And then as soon as I was done editing, somewhere in the afternoon, whether it was 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, I'd take a half-hour break, and then I would film for the rest of the night, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And, then I would hang out for 3, 4 hours and have a little downtime and then sleep and then repeat the next day. And it was like that for a solid 3 or 4 years. Now I take a lot more time for myself. YouTube changed a lot of things. They don't demand daily uploads anymore to be a successful channel. Thank God. So,
what's the hardest thing that you have gone through as a pro wrestler?
The hardest thing I've gone through as a professional wrestler is not being accepted by my peers, the other professional wrestlers, because, you've seen the shtick that I did, when you say, who's Grim? Okay. That's who Grim is. Okay. Grim's cocky. He's braggart. He's a tough guy, whatever. But Dave, the guy behind Grim, is a lot different than that. You know what I mean? Just like any wrestler you watch on TV, whether they're being babyface, whether they're being a heel, that's not who they are in real life. I've met very few wrestlers who are exactly the same on television as they are off screen. You know what I mean? But yet people expect that of me, that I'm Grim and that Dave acts like Grim. So then therefore Dave must be a piece of shit because Grim acts like a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no, that's my on-screen character. And, walking into a wrestling locker room with a locker room full of other independent wrestlers who look at me and say, why are you here? You're just a YouTube guy who wrestles in a backyard. And I'm like, no, I'm actually a very well-trained professional wrestler. You know what I mean? It's just, I couldn't get a fair shake, so I started doing it for my goddamn self.
I was gonna say, I've seen the page. I've seen how many people you have trained. So it's duly noted that you have some, like, a lot of credibility to your background, especially when you can pull in some, like, the big name talents that you do for your channel. So they have to start taking you a lot more seriously.
Yeah. Well, I feel like now I've earned that respect, but it took me a few years.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still guys out there that have that opinion, but they're far and few between now as opposed to a few years ago.
Right. So I know you have 12,000 plus action figures. So my question, and I really want to see this one, what's your favorite action figure?
Well, that's difficult because I have favorites in every different line and every different genre. And, I mean, how are you supposed to choose between your children? I have my favorite Transformer. I have my favorite wrestler, I mean, anything Razor Ramon in wrestling, because he's my favorite wrestler of all time. So when they make a new elite Razor Ramon action figure, that's my fucking favorite. One of my favorite Transformers is I have a really rare Transformer from Japan. And it was like, it's worth now today about $6,000. When I got it, I paid $1,200 for it, and it was like people were like, "Are you out of your goddamn mind? You paid $1,200 for a fucking Transformer?" But it was worth it to me because I have a really rare Transformer that's now worth 6 times.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most toys do that. Don't invest in toys and think they're all going to do that. They're not.
I was gonna say I have one action figure that I've collected, and it's a Gambit from the Apocalypse set. Okay. So I'm like, I've only collected him, and he's still in the package, and I refuse to take him out, and I've had him since I was 12 years old. I was like, because Gambit's my favorite X-Men, so that's why I was asking about your favorite action figure.
Nice.
You would like Gambit.
He's the man. Shut up. He's an Omega
You
Omega
would like
mutant.
Gambit.
Back off.
Whatever.
Yeah, I could see Cliff as Gambit. I could see that.
All right, now don't hype him up. Don't hype him up.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay, Grim. So for your channel, you've done a lot of events over the years, a ton of them. So what I want to know, what was the most disastrous taping that you ever had to do for your channel?
Well, that would be one of our most recent ones because, okay, so we had a live event planned. It was going to be my first ever live event, GTS Live, for the first fucking time ever. And of course, it came right up to that edge of when they started canceling everything for coronavirus. And it was like, we were going to run the show as of 4 days before it was supposed to happen. And then it was like, oh, no, they shut the school down. You can't do it. And it was like, fuck, you know? And I'm like, but I want to film it for YouTube at least. I could still do it in my yard. We won't have the crowd. We won't have the people. But I could still have everybody come over my house and we could film it in my fucking yard. And then guess what happens? Like that day they announced, no more gatherings. You're all on lockdown. So they fucking sent police over here. And I got 40 people in the yard, paid wrestling talent. We got matches set up, scenes set up, everything's fucking set up. And I got 2 cops standing there going, nope, everybody has to leave. I'm like, why? Like, this is stupid. None of us are sick. We're all fine. We're just trying to film some fucking wrestling. I don't know. The whole coronavirus thing pissed me off because they shut down wrestling. And I fucking love wrestling. No. That was the worst. That was the worst.
It's easily the worst.
Well,
okay.
All right, there's more to the story. So
go ahead.
Excuse me. As they're telling me everybody has to leave, blah, 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 they said, yeah, you have 40 people here. You can't have any more than 10. I said, wait a minute. I can have 10? So then I said, all right, well, there's 40 guys here. 30 of you need to fuck off for a little while. I'll text you when to come back. I'm going to film with this 10. Then they're going to go home. Then I'm going to film with the next 10 of you. Then they're going to go home. Then I'm going to film with the next 10 of you, and they're going to go home. And then that's how we did the rest of the show. It was the worst taping. It took all fucking day. It was awful. That's the rest.
Okay. So who's on your dream list of people to have a part of your show that haven't already been on?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, all right. So that's a good one. Well, I mean, Scott Hall has to be on my show at some point, but I know he doesn't wrestle anymore, and he's down in Florida. So, but one of these times when he's up in New Jersey, I got to get a hold of him. I want Scott Hall on my show because I think that would be one of the greatest things because I started watching wrestling because I was walking past the television and my brother was watching wrestling and I seen Razor Ramon Razor's Edge somebody. I said, holy shit, what the fuck was that? Razor's Edge. I said, roll it back. I got to watch this again. You know, and that's when I started watching wrestling because of Razor Ramon. So I would love to have him on my show. Now he's been on a few times as a guest, like if I seen him at a convention or something, but to actually have him perform on GTS would be amazing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And by far, to this point, who has been your favorite person to work with?
Well, that's unfair because I had a lot of them. And if you say one, then the other one's going to say, hey. No. But the thing is, what's that?
5 people, really. Give me 5 people.
All right.
Off the top.
One thing I could say, it's like you said, the TV talent that have come out to my show. You know what I mean? And regularly. I mean, some of them have only come once. Some of them were only able to ever come once. You know what I mean? But the ones that have worked with me consistently and put away that thought of, it's a stupid YouTube show with a bunch of untrained yarders and whatever. Like people who saw, no, man, this show is popular and it's got a following and, it's something that I'm excited to be a part of. I would say James Ellsworth. I would say Robbie E. Kurt Hawkins, Falaba, Rhett Titus, Nunzio. But those Bull James. Those are probably the top ones off the top of my head. God, if I forgot one, I'm so sorry. But those guys consistently wanted to work with me time and time again because this show's fun. Like GTS is a fun place to wrestle, and it's a fun show to make. And it's we do fun characters and different things that they don't do on any other show, and that's why we have the following we do.
Alrighty, I guess it's my time to ask. Since you said that one of your limited edition Transformers figures is now over $6,000, I wanted to ask, what is your most expensive figure?
That would be that one.
It would be
Yeah,
that
one.
one. Oh wow, okay. So let me rephrase it. Okay. What is the most that you've ever paid for a figure?
It would also be that one. 12 Stupid. Like, what am I doing?
Well, damn. Well,
like that was $400 more than my rent. Like, my rent was $800, and I bought a fucking Transformer for $1,200. I wasn't like rich or didn't have any money. I mean, I was like, I scraped that money together, but I was like, God damn, I'm going to have this, and I still do.
That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna segue to my next question. What would be the biggest advice you would give to YouTubers and wrestlers, to up and coming YouTubers and wrestlers?
Well, that's two completely different things. That's like, what advice do you have for a space shuttle guy and a submarine driver? Because that's two completely different things. Now, I don't know what to give advice to give for a wrestler, because I did not succeed in wrestling by any traditional means in any shape or form. I succeeded in a completely different way that nobody's ever done before. And that's why Grimm is, one of the biggest wrestling channels on the planet, because I did something no one's ever done before. So that, I don't know, do something nobody's ever done before. Good fucking luck. There's 7 billion people on the planet. But as far as advice for YouTube, be original. Be creative, and don't do what everybody else is doing. Like, you know what I mean? You say, oh yeah, that channel's doing this, let me fucking copy it. It's not gonna work, I promise.
Oh man, that's why my channel's not gonna be successful. Oh well, I'm gonna keep pushing.
All right, well, good luck to you, Chaz.
Alrighty then. So it is now time for the lightning rapid fire question round.
Uh-oh, here we go.
We're going to put the imaginary timer on the clock. Ding! You hear that? Yeah, yep.
Yes.
You hear that? Okay, yeah, that was that imaginary timer. All right, here we go. Ready? And Iron Man or Captain America?
Easily Iron Man.
Thank you.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Favorite cartoon?
Bugs Bunny.
Dream vacation?
Las Vegas for the 9th time.
If you weren't doing this podcast, what would you be doing right now?
My girlfriend. I'm just being honest.
Smack, and I appreciate the honesty. SmackDown or Raw?
Raw.
Last song you sang out loud?
It was last night. I don't know which one. I sung like 8 songs to my girlfriend. Probably Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Favorite figurine line?
Transformers.
And guilty pleasure?
Your mom. No. I don't know. You said first thing that came to my mind.
I'm taking that answer. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, that was the lightning. Oh, I have lost it now. That was fun. Oh man, that's been the rapid fire question. Oh man, Grimm, thanks a lot, bro. Thanks for being on.
Welcome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. But go ahead and plug your stuff so everyone can follow you on social media. Make sure they subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that.
Yeah, subscribe. So it's GTS Wrestling on YouTube, but the channel is actually called Silly Super Pop. It was named for my grandfather. Long story. But check out the Silly Super Pop channel on YouTube for GTS Wrestling. Also, the Grimm Experience is my behind-the-scenes vlogging channel of my regular life. Follow me on TikTok at GTS Grimm. I think I'm one of the best TikTokers in the history of our sport. Follow me on Twitter at Grimm's Toy Show, on Instagram at GTS Ambassador, and Snapchat can go fuck itself.
Awesome. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, if listen, if you don't check out Grim after this episode of Now in the Ring, then you're just a plain idiot at this point. So, with that being said, I'm Chaz Evans. I'm here with the Red Dog, here with Chris Idol, also here with JJ, and we got Grim from GTS Wrestling on freaking YouTube. Definitely go out, support that man. He's hilarious. I've had a blast. We've all had a blast, and we will catch you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is JJ, 1/4 of the 3 Count Podcast. Make sure that you follow us on all the social medias. Make sure you subscribe on all podcasting platforms. And make sure you share with all of your friends. JJ out.